Life's daily battles are not meant to be fought alone.
We're not powerless, so long as we don't lose sight of what's important.
Don't be afraid to seize that moment to talk to your friends.
Cloud, you okay?
Because checking in on a friend can create a safe space.
The first step on our new journey. You coming?
Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Seize the awkward. It's totally worth it.
I don't remember how it started.
North of that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I feel that I'm not getting the attention that I need, and it's a lot built up in my chest. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
Listening is a form of love. Find ways to support your kids at sounditouttogether.org.
When word of a woman gone missing begins to spread in southwest Missouri in late summer of 2021, it wasn't immediately front page news. In fact, in the case of 33-year-old Cassidy Rainwater, a missing persons report would not even be filed until 1 month after her death. It was her aunt, Cora Terry, who notified the Dallas County Sheriff's Office, and deputies did what they could to track down leads.
I knew something was wrong.
Right.
So I started asking around. Started saying, have you seen her? No. Have you seen, talking to people.
Yeah, is a Cassidy here?
No.
No?
Haven't seen her in weeks.
Really?
But a breakthrough in a case that could have went cold and a key to unlocking the truth didn't come from anyone in the small southwest Missouri community of Windyville. Instead, an online tip alerted the FBI about a collection of disturbing pictures posted to a file-sharing website. Those photos proved Cassidy Rainwater had been murdered, her body mutilated, and her remains processed in a way that investigators reported appeared to be meant for consumption.
Get up against that truck right now and get your hands on that truck. Do not f with me. Get up there on that truck.
What's going on?
Right now you're under arrest for the homicide of Cassidy Rainwater.
Disturbing details of a killing of this kind quickly spread beyond the isolated hills of the Ozarks. But when a case never goes to trial, it leaves many to speculate and draw their own conclusions about what happened to a woman who was said to be locked in a cage. For the first time, our extensive records request is revealing every step of the investigation that led to one confession of almost unspeakable horrors. With Ozarksfirst Investigates, I'm Bailey Stroll, and this is part 2 of Murder on Moon Valley Road, the killing of Cassidy Rainwater. Before news of James Phelps' arrest reached the residents of Windyville, the reality of the crime was already closing in. The community had been tipped off when a portion of Moon Valley Road was shut down for more than a week. Past the yellow tape, every corner of the cabin Phelps had rented for years fell under forensic scrutiny.
All of a sudden, I'm hearing about a guy who's got women locked up and possible torture.
The community could only guess at the horror unfolding behind the barricade. But the person who knew the full story was already sitting in a small windowless room at the Dallas County Sheriff's Office.
My name is Jeff Apple. I'm an agent with the FBI. You heard that before somewhere?
I had no idea.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, hey, the reason I'm here to talk to you is I think that you can help me with some answers that I'm interested in.
What's that?
Well, I'd like to talk to you about a missing girl. And I think you might be able to fill me in. But since you're here right now and you're in custody, I have to play by the rules, and that's what I do. So I have to read you your rights. Are you familiar with your rights when you're in custody?
No.
Okay. Have you ever been arrested for anything before that you would have been read your rights?
No.
No. Okay. All right. If you decide to answer questions without a lawyer present, you have the right to stop answering at any time. And like I said, I think that you can fill in some blanks for me and possibly point me in the right direction. And the reason that I came to you is because I think that you're the person that knows something that can tell me to help with this missing persons case. So if you'd like to talk to me, and like I said, I'd like to talk to you. If you'd like to talk to me, you can sign right here, and we can get started. You don't want to sign? Do you want to talk to me?
I don't even know what you're like.
Well, like I said, I want to talk to you about a missing girl. Would that be okay with you? If I ask you questions?
You ask a question, I probably won't answer them.
Okay.
Because these guys already threw everything at me.
Okay, when was that?
Well, let's see, they wrongfully have gone into my home.
Okay.
And all sorts of other things.
Okay. But has anybody talked to you?
No.
About what's going on?
No.
Okay. Well, that's what I'd like to do. Would that be okay? I mean, that may fill in some blanks for
No,
you.
we have an attorney in here.
Okay. So you're saying you want an attorney before we ask you any questions? Okay, that's fine. That's your prerogative. You can do that. Can I just clarify a few things with you as far as who you are, for sure, just to make sure I have the right person?
They already know who I am.
Okay, so they're familiar with who you are from being in the area?
They've already asked me who I am.
Okay, fair enough. Well, we can go with that. But yeah, I just want to make sure that we're clear. I just want to talk to you about a missing girl, and I think that you can help me out on it. So, but if you want to have an attorney, that's fine. That's your prerogative, okay? All right, well, thank you for your time.
This is the last video evidence the Dallas County Prosecutor's Office has of James Phelps being questioned. Instead, the answers as to what happened to Cassidy Rainwater would be gathered first from the items and evidence found inside the cabin, and later, the conversations his closest friend would soon have with the FBI.
There I was, 16, divorced, remarried with a baby, another on the way, and I could barely read or write. Getting my high school diploma was a catalyst I needed. Now I have a bachelor's and master's, and I became a teacher. When I look at all these success stories, I could not help but think it all started by getting my high school diploma.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
I'm a United States Marine. When I came home, I became angry. I had migraines and respiratory issues.
I served in the Army. There's a lot more people out there that have gone through more things. I shouldn't go and get those benefits because they had it worse.
If you could say anything to that veteran, what would you say?
Every veteran is deserving the benefits they earned by serving our country. You deserve because you serve. If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait, reach out.
Unlike the brief interaction with their main suspect, agents Jeff Atwood and Cameron Heath would spend hours questioning Timothy Norton on September 20th, 2021 at the Dallas County Sheriff's Office.
You're familiar with Jim Phelps, right?
I've known him since I was 9 years old. I'm 56 years old now.
Okay.
Okay. 45 years.
Okay. And how is it that you know Jim?
We got together, we met each other when we was playing Little League.
Okay.
And we just hit it off and went from there.
Timothy Norton tells authorities he travels often because he works as a truck driver. During his time off, he says he usually comes back home to Southwest Missouri to visit the man who lives along Moon Valley Road.
So, fair to say that you know Jim Phelps very well?
Yes.
Okay.
Which really makes us all shocking.
Yeah. What do you say when you say this all? What do you mean?
Everything that I've heard reports of and everything.
What have you heard?
Well, I've seen the stories online.
Of what stories?
News stories.
Okay. Like about what?
That he's been suspected and or accused of kidnapping.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all. That's as far as I think that goes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but you know, some woman's been missing for a couple months.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not the first time I know that she's disappeared on us for a couple of months, so.
Do you know that person?
I know of her. I don't really know her that well.
Okay.
And I really don't want to know her that well.
Yeah.
Because I don't deal with thieves and liars very well.
Mm-hmm.
And she stole from me, and that's the last thing I like to have anybody do.
Mm-hmm. How is it that you know her? What's her name?
Cassidy.
Cassidy. Do you know her last name?
Jim has told me a few times, and because of the news story, I do know it's rainwater.
Okay. When's the last time you saw her?
I want to go back to my chats and stuff. The 24th.
Okay, of
July.
Okay.
Timothy Norton says he considers Jim, or James Phelps, his brother. The two aren't bound by blood, but he says he, Jim, and Phelps' siblings are as close as family.
My brother let me know that she was there because I wanted to talk to her about the theft thing, about my lives missing and stuff, because she was the only logical person left to talk to about it. You know, I talked to her, and she said she didn't know anything about it. I said, well, if you find out, let me know, and that was it.
And that was on the 24th of July this year, 20.
Yeah.
And where was that?
Down in the camp.
Okay.
Norton makes it clear he and James Phelps had their reasons for not wanting Cassidy around.
So you're saying you were angry at Cassidy because of what she had done to you and Jim?
Well, what she done to me and her family in general, but yeah.
Well, what other stuff has she done to family? Obviously, we know that she stole meaningful items, getting your knives, but
From the family, she stole rings from our sister, and she tried to abscond with her van. She lied about it multiple times. You know, she made points of telling everybody she's going to be somewhere and then not be there.
And just so we're clear, what's the timeline on all of these events?
For the last 3 years.
So over the course of 3 years, she's been stealing from the family.
When the conversation shifts back to the last time Norton saw Cassidy, he gets out his phone to check his messages. He tells the FBI agents it was James Phelps who asked him to come over that morning. Around 7 a.m., Timothy Norton says he left work at his factory job south of Camdenton, Missouri, and headed to Phelps' cabin on Moon Valley Road to confront Cassidy.
He said she thinks she'd still be there, maybe still asleep. I told him the sex anything changed.
Okay. Would it be okay if I saw that?
Unless you guys know me and James' way of talking, it may sound vague on some things, but when I found out what happened, I thought it was just erasing everything. So no, that just made me look like I'd done something wrong. Or maybe he done something wrong and told me about it, and I didn't want to tell it. No, I didn't want to show you. He said, my estranged wife and my girlfriend and I both watching the cop shows and stuff like, yeah, no. Ain't doing that. Ain't giving them reason to be suspicious.
It's at this point the questioning takes a turn. due to the discussions between James Phelps and Timothy Norton, whose profile was under the name Terrence Sammons on Facebook Messenger.
I'm just reading your text here from the 23rd and the 24th, and maybe you can clarify for me.
I got it.
Yeah. It says, okay, I'm free to talk now. I have Cassie here. She, I think he's trying to say she asked to spend the night. But he said,
I told you he's had dyslexia.
I'm going to see about having her sleep on the floor in the front room tonight. He writes, do, I think he meant so, can get to her in the morning easy. You responded, KK. On July 24th at 7:05, you wrote OMW, meaning on my way.
That's right after I got off work. And I got off work at 7 in the morning.
Jim wrote, okay, she is asleep. How long? Park at the end of the driveway. And so after 7:05 or thereabout a.m., the two of you didn't have any further text conversation until June 24th at 5:56 p.m. when he sent to you, done.
July 24th.
What did I say?
You said June 24th.
I apologize. July 24th.
Okay.
So on July 24th, you didn't have any further conversation until 5:56 p.m. when he wrote to you, done, and you responded sometime later, K. At about 10:53 p.m. on the 24th, you said, you still up? He says, yes, I am. You wrote, she knows now. What did that mean? Because then he says, okay, what did she say? You wrote, she was a little freaked out for a bit. Now she is good, kind of surprised. He wrote, freaked that it was done? You wrote, yeah, and we had the stones to actually do it. He writes that we was not just talking about it and was never going to do it for real. You wrote, yeah. He says, okay, and you said, she's good now.
Honestly, I couldn't tell you.
Well, think of something, because that sounds pretty suspicious to me.
I mean, the done part could have been any number of things. He could something he was working on. He could have told me he was done with.
But the rest of that?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
You wrote that that somebody didn't think you had the stones to do something. What was that?
More than likely, that was my girlfriend thinking I wouldn't confront Cassidy about the knives because I'd put it off so long. I don't like confrontation. I really don't. So.
Let me read on, and maybe you can help me understand that. So then he writes, all the sheets are burned.
There again, I don't know what sheets he was talking about and what he'd done to the sheets, or what sheets he was even referring to.
I don't either. That's why I'm asking you.
I don't know.
Because he texted that to you.
Yeah, that was that late at night, so I don't know what he did during the day after I left.
Well, I mean, that sound strange to you? I mean, you should be able to put some context to that for us, right? I mean,
no, not really, because, like I said, I such this in and I've done a lot of miles and a lot of other things.
No.
So, I mean, it could have been cheap papers, it could have been bed sheets, it could have been any number of things.
Okay. And why would they need to be burned?
I don't know.
Okay.
The messages are telling and are ultimately what help investigators piece together what happened one morning in late July.
Love the hustle, Cliff. Who are you?
Your lungs.
We're quite proud of you.
Even though you quit smoking years ago, you may be at risk for lung cancer.
Okay. Well, with the routine screening, you can detect it early when it's more curable.
Sounds good, guys. Can I get a little space here?
Biologically, no.
Okay.
Listen to your lungs. Get a routine screening that could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Oh, I don't see where you got your degree.
I don't have one. I went another route.
All right. I guess tell me a bit about your experience.
For 15 years, I've been managing logistics and mastering project management skills.
Wow. Sounds like you've got just the kind of skills and experience we're looking for.
I'm a United States Marine. When I came home, I became angry. I had migraines and respiratory issues.
I served in the Army. There's a lot more people out there that have gone through more things. I shouldn't go and get those benefits because they had it worse.
If you could say anything to that veteran, what would you say?
Every veteran is deserving the benefits they earned by serving our country. You deserve because you serve. If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
During the hours-long interrogation, FBI agent Jeff Atwood is able to read for himself the back-and-forth messages between Timothy Norton and James Phelps. He begins asking Norton questions he struggles to answer.
Tim, you've already said to me that you don't like confrontation, and I appreciate that. Okay? But I'm going to get straight to the point. I'm looking at stuff on your phone that I think might corroborate some of what I already know. In other words, I think it might indicate to me something that I already know that you know. I think that Jim has done something very bad. And I have evidence that he's done it. That's why you're sitting right here now talking to me. And now I think that I'm looking at your phone, and this tells me that you might have known something about it. I want to give you an opportunity to tell me that straight up, okay? No bones about it. I need to know what you know about what happened to Cassidy. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you. I didn't pick you out of just a guess.
I understand.
It's an absolute deal. I'm looking at your phone, and it's corroborating some of what I already know, okay? I don't ask a ton of questions that I don't sort of know the answer to begin with.
I kind of get it.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you were going down this together. And I will tell you right away, I'm not here looking at you. I'm looking at somebody else. Okay? But you have answers for me. When we started talking earlier today, I told you that you can put pieces of the puzzle together for me, and I know damn well that you can. And now is your opportunity. And I want you to tell it to me exactly like it was. Exactly like what you remember. You know what? You're in a position now that you're going to put a friend of yours in a bad spot. But it is your opportunity to do the right thing because somebody else didn't. And I need to hear it right now. This is your opportunity for you to tell it just like it is. Not for somebody else to coach you on what to say. This is your chance to tell me exactly what you know. And I hope that you appreciate that we've been polite to you. But after I look at your phone, I know that you know something else. And I want to hear it.
I'm not exactly sure that it was about Cass when he said it was done. I know we had talked about making her go away because she just wouldn't go away. But I don't know if that's exactly what he was talking about. I would assume it would be. But
that is exactly what he was talking about. And you know exactly why he was talking about it and when he was talking about it. Please, I'm asking you right now to do the right thing. Somebody's done something really bad. Really unthinkably bad. And I don't want you to be right in the middle of it, so you better start telling me exactly what went down, exactly the way you remember it right now. Otherwise, you are going to get wrapped into something that you don't want to be in. You got an opportunity to tell me what happened, and this is it.
Like I said, I can assume that he was talking about Cass because she was the only one I knew that was there. Possible. Sheets being burned. Maybe he used the sheets that she used.
Maybe.
If I'm not there, I can't give you that. I don't want to give you that.
You know enough to understand what he's talking about.
That he burned sheets.
Why did he burn the sheets?
I would assume that they had blood on them, or they would have some kind of evidence to what your guys are trying to put to them.
Tim, listen to what you're saying right now. You continue to tell me things that I already know. You need to tell me exactly what happened. This is not about you. Tell me what happened. I didn't show up here today to talk to the wrong guy. I came to talk to the guy that knew what happened. Otherwise, I would have talked to somebody else. It's not a fluke that 2 FBI agents showed up here today.
I've been trying to figure out why you guys are involved in this case anyway, but that's another story another time, probably.
Tell me what you know.
I'm going to ask something real quick.
Ask.
Can me and you step outside too? Can we step outside so I can have a cigarette?
Absolutely.
I'm about to die for a cigarette.
You got your cigarettes with you?
I got them with me.
Go have a smoke.
I don't know if you guys smoke it up, but I do. Leave it alone, that's fine.
An hour and a half into a nearly 4-hour-long interrogation, it appears Timothy Norton sees no other way out than to turn against his friend of 4 decades and divulge the truth. As Norton lights up a cigarette, FBI agent Atwood is discreetly recording the conversation while standing just outside the doors of the Dallas County Sheriff's Office.
I've not lied to you.
I don't think you've lied to me. I think you've omitted something.
I've omitted a lot. I got that 45-year friendship. I'm trying to get around.
I gotcha.
You know, that's a lot of years being with one person, with somebody and stuff.
If somebody has done something that you know about, that ain't right.
Let's kind of put it to you this way. May not be right in most people's eyes, but it was the right thing that needed to be done. Because,
well, if it was the right thing, then you can tell me about it.
But the problem is, if I tell you about it, you're going to put me in handcuffs.
Well, we all got to make choices.
It wasn't necessarily something I wanted to do.
I need to know what you know.
I'm not an astronaut, I'm just a pawn.
I get. Why do you think I came to talk to you?
Coming up on part 3.
It's not the first time we talked about Jonas. It's not the first time we almost had a chance to do it.
Timothy Norton reveals what really happened the morning of July 24th, 2021.
I didn't know how far he was going to take it.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping he was just going to scare the hell out of everybody.
A cabin turned crime scene becomes a nationwide spectacle. What happens when onlookers descend on a small town and a sheriff reaches a breaking point? Next time on Murder on Moon Valley Road, the killing of Cassidy Rainwater.
Life's daily battles are not meant to be fought alone.
We're not powerless, so long as we don't lose sight of what's important.
Don't be afraid to seize that moment to talk to your friends.
Cloud, you okay?
Because checking in on a friend can create a safe space.
The first step on our new journey. You coming?
Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Seize the awkward. It's totally worth it.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Elmer loves to giggle. Elmer's mommy taught him that laughing can help when you have a big feeling, like when you feel happy. Make sure to celebrate when you're happy and laugh it out. Love your mind.
Right now at 9, we are learning some more about a recent murder near Southwest Springfield. We're filling you in on who's been arrested in connection to the death of Miles Young. And the city of Springfield unveiling its plans for a reimagined expo center downtown. How residents are reacting to the look for the potential project in the center city. And then later,
our capabilities continue to build, Iran's continue to degrade.
Strike after strike, U.S. forces continue to target the Iranian Navy, threatening key shipping routes near the Strait of Hormuz. The latest on Operation Epic Fury. Your News at 9 starts right now.
This is Ozarksfirst News at 9.
Thanks for joining us here tonight. I'm Mike Landis. We begin tonight with a man behind bars charged with murdering a 15-year-old last week in a neighborhood near West Bypass and Republic Road. We can tell you that 18-year-old Praise King has now been charged with first-degree murder. He's now being held in the Greene County Jail. Now, the Greene County Sheriff's Office says it responded to this area on March 12th when they found 15-year-old Miles Young dead. This week, with the help of the U.S. Marshal's Office, King was arrested and charged in Young's death. According to court documents, the documents outlining the case have been sealed. The judge ruled that by making the probable cause statement public, quote, there is a substantial possibility that such release would endanger witnesses. As of now, King remains there in jail on no bond and will appear in court later on this month. A homicide investigation is now underway in Carroll County, Arkansas. This comes after deputies say they responded to a shooting near Green Forest on early Thursday. And that's where a man was found dead at the scene, and a second was found with non-life-threatening injuries from a gunshot wound. Their identities have not been released at this point. The sheriff's office says the people allegedly responsible are known, adding they and the victims knew each other. And time now for our first check of our forecast here at 9:02 with a live look over those beautiful skies of downtown Springfield. Some clouds, but still fairly warm after what we could call a summer-like day, at least maybe feeling more like June out there than March. We're going to check in with Jamie now in the forecast center. And Jamie, this is just one of many days that are going to feel this warm out there.
Yeah, this isn't one where it's like, oh, you hear the forecast, you got to get out and enjoy that one day because that's all you've got. No, you've got several days in a row where temperatures are going to be incredibly warm for this time of the year. I mean, it's March. I know it starts getting warm, but the temperatures that we're going to find going into the weekend are going to be similar to what you would expect in the month of June. Outside right now, skies mostly clear. Temperatures still comfortable in the 60s and 70s. And it looks like by tomorrow morning we'll drop into the low 50s. Sunny throughout the day tomorrow. Temperatures will climb fast. In fact, coffee outside in the morning I think you could. 61 by 9 o'clock, 74 by 11 o'clock, and in the low 80s shortly after lunchtime. Temperatures will continue to climb. At 3 o'clock, we'll be up to 85, and it looks like a high tomorrow of 87. And we've got a record run this weekend. Both Saturday and Sunday, records are going to fall across most of the Ozarks. And this warmth will come with quiet weather. That's always good in the spring season. I'll have more on this forecast coming up. Mike?
All right, thank you, Jamie. Springfield City leaders moving forward with plans to reimagine the city's Expo Center downtown. This all coming months after voters rejected a similar plan and funding proposal. The city is now sharing some design ideas with the public ahead of another vote that could impact that funding.
We would start right away, and it would probably take somewhere between 6 to 12 months just to have a preliminary design. Then it would take probably another 12 months to finish all the construction documents and bid out the project.
And city leaders say they'll continue sharing information and gathering feedback as that April 7th vote approaches.
It's a good-looking design. I've been coming to all the meetings because I'm interested in what they're going to build and how they're going to build it. And with that new unveiling comes a host of different opinions from folks in the community, with some of them expressing renewed excitement for the project, others saying they're still not quite convinced. Ozarksfirst Michael McLaughlin is live in Springfield. And Michael, you talked to one person who showed up who's for it, somebody else who's not so sure.
Yeah, so Mike, the meeting was held in the Discovery Center, but this is the plot of land where it's expected to be built. Now, those who saw the design today did have positive things to say about it. However, others still have questions and concerns.
I like a lot of the concepts behind it.
Jason Nunn was impressed with the initial renderings and praises the designers.
Populous is the best of the best when it comes to this sort of thing. So the fact that they are interested in being invested in a project here in Springfield, I think speaks volumes about the potential.
He voted in favor of the convention center last year during the first vote. He says his decision remains the same heading into April elections.
When something of this scale is being discussed and something of this cost, frankly, I think it's easy to look at a lot of the other issues that our city has. But I do think that this, in a way, contributes to helping some of the issues that we're experiencing downtown in Center City.
Others feel differently. Bob Grand stood outside the meeting to protest the project.
There's so many other issues that are more important, and we seem to be focusing on this to the exclusion of everything else.
Grand tells me voters already voiced their opinions once. It's time to let it go.
The only thing that's different between this vote and the last vote is that they added a sunset clause to this. And we already voted on this in November last year, and the people said no.
Now, it's important to note that these renders are not final. If the vote passes in April, then the city will hold more workshops to collect feedback to shape that final design. Reporting live in Springfield, I'm Michael McLaughlin, Ozarksfirst.
We'll continue following it. Thank you, Michael. And we have a lot more news to share with you, so don't forget to follow us on social media, where we have fun videos and interactive stories from your communities here in the Ozarks. You can log in and find that on X, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, as well as our news and weather apps and our website 24 hours a day, Ozarksfirst.com.
Chance today, you can either continue to lie or you can correct the record.
If I have something to say, I'll say it directly to your face.
Coming up later in the show, Senator Mark Wayne Mullen a little closer to becoming the Secretary of Homeland Security after being grilled by lawmakers. We're taking a closer look at that crucial vote ahead.
And today was our warmest day yet in 2026, and we're just getting started. How close to record highs? We'll have that in your forecast coming up.
This is Ozarksfirst News at 9 with Mike Landis, Chief Meteorologist Jamie Warner, and Sports with Dan Lucy.
Oh, I don't see where you got your degree.
I don't have one. I went another route.
All right. I guess tell me a bit about your experience.
For 15 years, I've been managing logistics and mastering project management skills.
Wow. Sounds like you've got just the kind of skills and experience we're looking for.
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that I would never be able to get over it and that my kids wouldn't have a father. I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. For the longest time, fear held me back from ultimately being who I wanted to. I had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
I'm a United States Marine. When I came home, I became angry. I had migraines and respiratory issues.
I served in the Army. There's a lot more people out there that have gone through more things. I shouldn't go and get those benefits because they had it worse.
If you could say anything to that veteran, what would you say?
Every veteran is deserving the benefits they earned by serving our country. You deserve because you serve. If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait, reach out.
Elmer loves to giggle. Elmer's mommy taught him that laughing can help when you have a big feeling, like when you feel happy. Make sure to celebrate when you're happy and laugh it out. Love your mind.
Life's daily battles are not meant to be fought alone.
We're not powerless, so long as we don't lose sight of what's important.
Don't be afraid to seize that moment to talk to your friends.
Cloud, you okay?
Because checking in on a friend can create a safe space.
The first step on our new journey. You coming?
Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Seize the awkward. It's totally worth it.
Well, Israel is now saying it will be holding off on strikes targeting Iran's largest natural gas field after a lot of pushback from President Trump and after Iran fired back targeting oil and gas facilities across the region, including in U.S. ally Qatar. Raquel Martin has more on that escalating conflict in the Middle East.
President Trump is warning Iran not to strike Qatar again. Writing online, the U.S. will not hesitate to respond with overwhelming force. Already surging global gas prices took another hit. Day 20 of the conflict in the Middle East, Iran intensified attacks, this time targeting energy facilities across the region. The escalation comes after Israel, without U.S. approval, struck a critical Iranian gas site.
I told him don't do that, and he won't do that. We didn't discuss it.
The moment signaling what could be an emerging rift between Washington and Tel Aviv, despite both leaders downplaying any tensions.
Did we get along great? It's coordinated.
Does anyone really think that someone can tell President Trump what to do? Come on.
On Capitol Hill, lawmakers are increasingly questioning whether U.S. and Israeli goals are fully aligned.
What does the intelligence community assess Israel's goals in this war to be? And are those goals aligned with the goals of the United States?
National Intelligence Director Tulsi Gabbard acknowledging there are differences.
We can see through the operations that the Israeli government has been focused on disabling the Iranian leadership.
The U.S. says its priority remains dismantling Iran's nuclear program.
Each day we continue to attack deeper into Iranian territory.
But with no clear end in sight, the United Nations is warning the conflict could spiral further, triggering a worsening humanitarian crisis.
It's high time to end this war that is risking getting completely out of control.
More than 1 million people in Lebanon alone have been displaced since fighting began. Today, President Trump reiterating that the U.S. has no plans to put U.S. troops on the ground. For now, in Washington, Raquel Martin, back to you.
As the war in Iran continues, the Pentagon is preparing to ask for emergency cash to finance that military operation. Both parties fear the costs associated with the war are rapidly rising and say the Defense Department is spending $1 to $2 billion every day to keep up that effort in the Middle East. The Pentagon is reportedly asking for $200 billion extra dollars, some of money that's nearly a quarter of its annual defense budget. That funding request will need congressional approval, however. Heading to break here at 9:12 with a live look over the skies over Downstream Casino just there west of Joplin. Nice evening out there. Probably a good one to have enjoyed a walk after dinner if you were able to do that. A lot more warmer days ahead. Jamie is going to let us know all about that right after this.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
My opponent is completely disregarding almost half of my arguments which I respond to.
Communities must step up
Laws
and
alone
protest
cannot
against this
stop the
normalization.
bullying.
Well, I completely disagree.
Point of inquiry, do you guys even realize that the #1 killer of children and teens are gun injuries?
You're probably starting to realize now, this is not a debate.
There is no adult in this earth that wants children to die.
I worry for my kids.
There I was, 16, divorced, remarried with a baby, another on the way, and I could barely read or write. Getting my high school diploma was a catalyst I needed. Now I have a bachelor's and master's, and I became a teacher. When I look at all these success stories, I could not help but think it all started by getting my high school diploma.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Love the hustle, Cliff. Who are you?
Your lungs.
We're quite proud of you.
Even though you quit smoking years ago, you may be at risk for lung cancer.
Okay. Well, with the routine screening, you can detect it early when it's more curable.
Sounds good, guys. Can I get a little space here?
Biologically, no.
Okay.
Listen to your lungs. Get a routine screening that could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Elmer loves to giggle. Elmer's mommy taught him that laughing can help when you have a big feeling, like when you feel happy. Make sure to celebrate when you're happy and laugh it out. Love your mind.
Oh, how sweet it is to be on this side of that big cold snap that we had at the beginning of the week. This is a nice run of weather that's gotten started. We made it to 83 today, and we're just getting started with 80-degree highs. We've got a 4-day run of this that we're going to be enjoying as we go through the upcoming weekend. Skies are mostly clear. It's quiet. Locally, regionally, nationally, really not too much going on. You do see this pocket of snow. There's an area of low pressure up here. That's going to slide across the Great Lakes. That cold front will push across the Great Lakes, and the cool air associated with it will move through the Great Lakes and toward the northeast. But in regard to our area, the cool air swings, but it misses. It is not going to make it into the Ozarks. So this taste of summer air that continues to blow into the area isn't going to get interrupted. And that's why temperatures have been surging day after day after day, and they're going to continue to climb through Friday and into this upcoming weekend. Now for tonight, a little bit of high cloudiness out there right now. We'll continue to sweep on through the area, and I think for Friday, it's a carbon copy of what we experienced today, almost to a T. The only difference is temperatures are actually going to be even a little bit warmer than they were today. We'll find sunny skies for the bulk of the day, and temperatures will respond to that sunshine. That's one of the things that's helping out, is all of the ingredients are lining up for extremely warm weather for the month of March. We've got sunshine. We've got winds out of the southwest blowing in warm air. And the air is also very dry. All of those things make it easy to warm up quickly during the day. Tomorrow morning, we wake up to readings in the low to mid 50s, about 50 here in Springfield for a low, and then afternoon highs, if you can believe it. I know that doesn't look like March, but it is. Looks like mid to upper 80s for highs across the area, and that will put us up close to record highs. In fact, I do think there'll be a couple of spots that will set record highs. West Plains and the Vichy area, both I think hitting 86 degrees, both beating the current records by 3 degrees. In Harrison, Arkansas, I think maybe only a degree shy. In fact, I think Harrison made it to 89 today. I need to check that, but I think Harrison made it to 89 today, and I could see 90 tomorrow afternoon. And if that happens, that would tie the record high of 90 set back in 2017. Weekend forecast looks very, very warm. I mean, this is a historic round of warmth because of the level of temperatures that we're going to be experiencing through the weekend, and also the number of days that we're going to be experiencing that heat. On Saturday in Springfield, it looks like a high of 89 degrees. That will come with lots of sun and light southwest winds. On Sunday, the cold front now looks like it arrives late enough in the day for plenty of time for temperatures to climb. We start off at 61, and I think we make it up to about 88 as that cold front is cruising across the area by mid to late afternoon. As far as temperatures and comparing them to the record highs on Saturday, I think we're setting a new record high here in Springfield. I think we're setting record highs in West Plains, Vichy, and Harrison, Arkansas, and just a little bit off in Joplin. On Sunday, same places, setting new record highs. I think here in Springfield, we're probably going to tie the record high, and I think we're setting record highs in West Plains, Vichy, and Harrison, Arkansas, just falling a little short in Joplin. Now, once we get on the other side of the weekend, we'll be on the other side of that cool front, and we will find cooler weather, some clouds, but the warm air is so close by that it will quickly move back in by the middle of the week. And it looks like this is going to be a case of record heat on repeat. Take a look. We climb from around 60 for a high on Monday to around 70 for a high on Tuesday to around 82 for a high on Wednesday and mid-80s on Thursday, Mike. And I think the record highs the record highs are pretty high in the stretch of warmth that we've got going into the weekend. But I think it's even easier to hit those record highs with 82 and 85 next week because they're lower during that time frame. So just a remarkable period of March heat.
Yeah, I know in February, not quite as warm, but every week we were like, man, is this going to keep going? Well, now we're in March and it's just even warmer and keeps going. So, all right,
looking good.
All right, thanks, Jamie. Well, tonight, our exclusive 4-part streaming series continues. Murder on Moon Valley Road, the killing of Cassidy Rainwater, uncovers new evidence in a case that shook the Ozarks. Here's a preview of what you'll find on that tonight.
A woman gone missing. The discovery of murder and mutilation, marking the beginning of an unraveling for two men accused of the unthinkable.
I'd like to talk to you about a missing girl.
But the answers as to what happened to Cassidy Rainwater would be gathered first from the items and evidence found inside the cabin.
Fair to say that you know Jim Phelps very well.
Yes, which really makes this all shocking.
And later, the conversations his closest friend would soon have with the FBI.
Because you wrote that you had the stones to do something. What was that?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you.
Well, think of something, because that sounds pretty suspicious to me.
The tense moments of an hours-long interrogation.
I've not lied to you.
I don't think you've lied to me. I think you've omitted something.
I've omitted a lot.
That all lead to a confession.
But the problem is, if I tell you about it, then you're going to put me in handcuffs.
The Ozarksfirst Plus exclusive continues.
May not be right in most people's eyes, but it was the right thing that needed to be done.
Part 2 of Murder on Moon Valley Road, the killing of Cassidy Rainwater.
Part of the series aired live tonight at 8:30, just wrapping up, but you can now find that on demand on Ozarksfirst Plus. Again, this is not available for your phone. It's just for your smart TV. You can download it for free right now on Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, as well as Roku. Well, coming up, it's day 2 of top intelligence officials being grilled on the biggest threats facing the U.S. The back and forth between the leaders and lawmakers as the war with Iran dominates that hearing.
Coming up tomorrow after daybreak on Unscripted, we'll have all the details on the 2026 Springfield Orchid Society show at Nathaniel Green Park this weekend.
And we'll tell you how you can attend the Boys and Girls Club's annual Steak and Steak Dinner featuring NFL great Rob Gronkowski. Yes. See you bright and early tomorrow morning after daybreak.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Best Reviews is an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations to give reliable recommendations on just about everything.
Call that a plasma sword?
For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
Oh, I don't see where you got your degree.
I don't have one. I went another route.
All right. I guess tell me a bit about your experience.
For 15 years, I've been managing logistics and mastering project management skills.
Wow. Sounds like you've got just the kind of skills and experience we're looking for.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Intelligence leaders were back on Capitol Hill today for a hearing on threats to the U.S., and lawmakers are saying they want answers on Iran. 20 days into the war, lawmakers are concerned about how long it will last and what could happen next.
Is there any evidence that Iran intended to conduct a preemptive attack on the United States?
There's a body of intelligence that in the likely event of a conflict between Iran and Israel, that the U.S. would be immediately attacked.
National Intelligence Director Tulsi Gabbard there says Iran will continue to pose a threat as long as the regime stays in power. President Trump's nominee for Homeland Security is one step closer to being confirmed. We're talking here about a Senate committee holding a crucial vote for Senator Markwayne Mullin earlier today, narrowly advancing Mullin only one day after his hearing on Capitol Hill. But if he's confirmed, Mullin will take over the agency at a sensitive time. The department has lacked money for more than a month now as Democrats demand reforms to immigration enforcement.
We need to get DHS open again. I mean, the homeland is basically unprotected right now in many ways.
Senate Majority Leader John Thune says the Senate cannot go on recess until DHS is funded. Well, uncertainty is growing among consumers and manufacturers as President Trump pushes ahead with his tariff agenda. In the months since the Supreme Court invalidated most of those tariffs, more than 100 U.S. companies have filed legal action asking for their money back, including names like FedEx and Dollar General and Costco. The Justice Department is expected to announce its next steps in that refund process tomorrow. Still ahead here at 9:30, we have more information about a murder that took place in Southwest Springfield, but also preparations around the state for the FIFA World Cup. They're in Kansas City getting ready for some big crowds this summer. Stay with us.
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I feel that I'm not getting the attention that I need, and it's a lot built up in my chest. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
Listening is a form of love. Find ways to support your kids at sounditouttogether.org.
Life's daily battles are not meant to be fought alone.
We're not powerless, so long as we don't lose sight of what's important.
Don't be afraid to seize that moment to talk to your friends.
Cloud, you okay?
Because checking in on a friend can create a safe space.
The first step on our new journey. You coming?
Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Seize the awkward. It's totally worth it.
Best Reviews is an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations to give reliable recommendations on just about everything. For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
I don't remember how it started. Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Elmer loves to giggle. Elmer's mommy taught him that laughing can help when you have a big feeling, like when you feel happy. Make sure to celebrate when you're happy and laugh it out. Love your mind.
And welcome back. For your news here at 9:30, I'm Mike Landis with some of the top stories we're covering for you here tonight on Ozarksfirst. Well, across the world, getting ships through the Strait of Hormuz has become the main crisis for the White House in its ongoing war with Iran. Japan, Canada, and 5 European allies issuing a joint statement agreeing to help secure the key shipping route, while the UK has already sent warships to the region. Meanwhile, the Pentagon says the attacks are only ramping up. Back here at home, an 18-year-old is behind bars tonight for allegedly murdering a 15-year-old last week. Praise King has been charged with first-degree murder in connection with Miles Young's death. King is accused of shooting and killing the teen at a home just southwest of Springfield. Court documents outlining the case have been sealed by a judge. Springfield city leaders and the community gathering to take a look at the possible redesign of the Expo Center downtown. The Convention and Expo Center proposal is back on the ballot on April 7th after months of community listening sessions. The city estimates the project will cost about $200 million, and if voters approve it, design work would begin immediately.
It's a good-looking design. I've been coming to all the meetings because I'm interested in what they're going to build and how they're going to build it.
And with that new unveiling comes a host of different opinions from people, with some expressing renewed excitement for the big project, others still not quite convinced. Ozarksfirst Michael McLaughlin live for us in Springfield tonight. Michael, a lot of folks showing up to this today. You talked to one person who's for it, one person who says they are still against it.
Yeah, so Mike, while the meeting was held at Discovery Center, this is actually where it's expected to be built. Now, those who saw this design process have good things to say about it. However, others still have questions and concerns.
I like a lot of the concepts behind it.
Jason Nunn was impressed with the initial renderings and praises the designers.
And I love the idea of activating some of the unused park spaces that are in the area. Populous is the best of the best when it comes to this sort of thing. So the fact that they are interested in being invested in a project here in Springfield, I think speaks volumes about the potential.
He voted in favor of the convention center last year during the first vote. He says his decision remains the same heading into April elections.
When something of this scale is being discussed and something of this cost, frankly, I think it's easy to look at a lot of the other issues that our city has. But I do think that this, in a way, contributes to helping some of the issues that we're experiencing downtown in Center City.
Others feel differently. Bob Grand stood outside the meeting to protest the project.
It's not going to make a profit. The city has already said it's not going to make money. They've already spent over $1 million on consultants. There's so many other issues that are more important, and we seem to be focusing on this to the exclusion of everything else.
Grand tells me voters already voiced their opinions once. It's time to let it go.
The only thing that's different between this vote and the last vote is that they added a sunset clause to this. And we already voted on this in November last year, and the people said no.
Now, it's important to note that these are not the final renders. If the vote is passed in April, then the city will continue to hold more workshops to collect feedback on that. Reporting live in Springfield, I'm Michael McLaughlin, Ozarks First.
All right, thank you, Michael. Turning now to our weather forecast here at 9:32. Jamie, a warm day in the 80s today. You know, a lot of times you get home and
let's let that sink in.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes you get home and you wish maybe you would have spent more time outdoors.
Yeah.
If you missed your chance, you're still going to have plenty of opportunity to do that.
Yeah, and this is going to time out for the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Every one of those days we're going to have highs in the 80s. And it's not just a barely getting to 80 degrees. It is going deep into the 80s. In fact, some places will hit 90 degrees. Today we hit 83. And again, as I was saying, let that sink in. This is our first 80-degree day in 2026. This is our warmest day since mid-October of this past fall. And way above normal. Average highs this time of the year are only 60. And this day was only 3 degrees off the record of 86 set back in 1907. I can also say that we set a record high already in this warm stretch that we're getting into. We set a record high today in Vichy, topping out in the low 80s there. It's a quiet night. It's a very comfortable night. Temperatures in the 60s and low 70s. My guess is there's probably a few people out there that may be watching those basketball games that are ongoing right now, those college games, maybe on their patio. Temperatures are just feeling wonderful, and it's going to feel great on Friday. We'll start off in the 50s. We'll end up in the 80s. In fact, we'll be in the low 80s shortly after lunchtime, and it looks like an afternoon high of 87 degrees with record heat across most of the area this coming weekend. Mike.
All right, thank you, Jamie. Anticipation is building at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City for what's expected to be the largest sporting event in Missouri's history. Hundreds of thousands of soccer fans from around the world will soon be in KC as the state plays host to multiple World Cup matches. Now, new commercials advertising Kansas City's role in the FIFA World Cup have already hit the airwaves across the Midwest.
Huge opportunity for the state of Missouri and Kansas City. About 650,000 people coming to the region over the course of the entire World Cup. You know, that translates to about $654 million in economic impact.
And several fan experiences will also take place throughout Kansas City during that tournament. Well, don't forget to download our CTV app for your smart TV called Ozarksfirst Plus. And that's where we have 6 shows hosted by our Ozarksfirst personalities with a couple more on the way, so stay tuned for those. Here's a sneak peek at today's show with Bailey.
This guy's just having a good time. Little robot in California, raising the roof, having a good time. But then you're like, okay, wait, I don't know if this is supposed to be happening. I mean, he's doing it for the cameras, I guess. Gets close to the table. You see it there. Knocks over a bunch of sauce. Knocks over some chopsticks. Gets a little bit too close. And those people are trying to eat. So now this good lady has to step in. Try to wrangle him.
Try to hold him back.
I guess. And then another one has to come in. And it's like, when does it end? I don't need it. If I'm going to go to a Chinese restaurant and eat some food, that's good. That's good enough for me. I don't need,
you don't need dinner and a show?
No, I don't need to be entertained.
I like that this
by
man's
a
kind of
robot.
strained. It feels like he's really trying.
You know, telling their friends, oh, you got to go to this one because they've got a robot that's dancing. If somebody said that to me, I would be like,
what? That doesn't
but how was the food?
Yeah.
I care more about, I don't know.
Did the robot bring you food that was good and then
they
start
can bring me
dancing?
that. I would be, I mean, that wouldn't get me to go anyway.
A strong robot needing 3 people to wrangle it. You can download Ozarksfirst Plus for free on Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Roku for your smart TV. Up next, investing in America, how the next generation of outer space advancements is saving lives right here on Earth. Stay with us.
My opponent is completely disregarding almost half of my arguments which I responded to.
Communities must step up.
Laws
and
alone cannot stop bullying.
Well, I completely disagree.
Point of inquiry, do you guys even realize that the #1 killer of children and teens are gun injuries?
You're probably starting to realize now, this is not a debate.
There is no adult in this earth that wants children to die.
I worry for my kids.
Achieving my goals as an adult was challenging without a high school diploma.
With the help of an adult education center, I finished my high school diploma and it changed my life.
This yearbook is a testament to your accomplishments and how they have impacted all of us.
Getting my high school diploma made me feel like I can do anything. Now I can help the kids in my community achieve their dreams.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Life's daily battles are not meant to be fought alone.
We're not powerless, so long as we don't lose sight of what's important.
Don't be afraid to seize that moment to talk to your friends.
Cloud, you okay?
Because checking in on a friend can create a safe space.
The first step on our new journey. You coming?
Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Seize the awkward. It's totally worth it.
Well, as we look at the spirit of America and celebrate 250 years as a nation, we're continuing to showcase you some communities and companies and how they're investing in America. The next generation of research in outer space is already underway, including in developing drugs to cure diseases and saving lives right here on Earth. Matt Moreau shows us the cutting-edge advances taking place right now.
Everything's getting awful dusty.
Dust on the moon.
Everything is just full of dust.
Is everywhere, and it gets on just about everything.
Looks like you guys have been playing in a coal bin.
Not only that, moon dust is dangerous. It's sharp as glass and can cut through clothing. Plus, it's charged. Think static on steroids.
Dust is one of the biggest hazards for exploration. So we have to understand this.
That's where the University of Colorado Boulder and Shu Wang come in. NASA just awarded him and the Atmospheric and Space Physics Lab almost $25 million to build the best moon dust tester ever.
How excited were you when you found out from NASA that you got the award or the contract to build this?
I cannot be happier than that, I can tell you. So I've been working on this for 20 years. And finally, we got to the point to fly this to the moon.
Right now, Wang and his team of more than 30 scientists, engineers, and students are rushing to build the state-of-the-art dust and plasma tester called Duster.
That's it?
That's it. That's the EDA, electrostatic dust analyzer.
This is the high-fidelity Duster, basically a test version of the real dust analyzer that's set to fly on the Artemis 4 moon mission in 2 years.
So you're protecting astronauts in space?
Yeah, the goal is to that, yeah.
These are live views of the ISS. You can see the outside views at the moment.
Scientists at CU Boulder are also protecting people on Earth, keeping them healthy and making medical breakthroughs by sending cells to space.
On Earth, the cells settle down to the bottom of your vessel. And in space, that doesn't happen. This is the matching piece that allows all this in space.
Tobias Niederwieser and BioServe Space Technologies are in charge of designing, packaging, and executing many of the medical and pharmaceutical experiments on the International Space Station. Their goal is to develop drugs faster than can be done on Earth.
We look at heart cells and kidney cells and bone cells and really see how they behave in microgravity.
BioServe has received tens of millions of dollars from NASA, the National Institutes of Health, and other agencies, and has sent more than 300 experiments into space in the last 35 years. Their results have included advanced medicine for osteoporosis and blood cancers, Now they're working with stem cells and hope to develop new treatments for arthritis and even a cure for diabetes. And maybe one day, 3D print organs in space.
It's a long time away, I think, but that's absolutely where we are heading. We already had beating heart cells in space, and I think that was the most exciting experiment ever.
In Boulder, Colorado, I'm Matt Morrow.
Well, speaking of exciting, and you don't have to wait for this, that is the warmth that we're going to be enjoying as we head into this upcoming weekend. And we may not be done with it after the weekend. There's still more March to go and maybe more opportunities to hit 80 degrees. Look at that in your forecast coming up.
Love the hustle, Cliff. Who are you?
Your lungs.
We're quite proud of you.
Even though you quit smoking years ago, you may be at risk for lung cancer.
Okay. Well, with routine screening, you can detect it early. Sounds good, guys. Can I get a little space here? Biologically, no. Okay.
Listen to your lungs. Get a routine screening that could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Achieving my goals as an adult was challenging without a high school diploma. With the help of an adult education center, I finished my high school diploma and it changed my life.
This yearbook is a testament to your accomplishments and how they have impacted all of us.
Getting my high school diploma made me feel like I can do anything. Now I can help the kids in my community achieve their dreams.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Oh, I don't see where you got your degree.
I don't have one. I went another route.
All right. I guess tell me a bit about your experience.
For 15 years, I've been managing logistics and mastering project management skills.
Wow. Sounds like you've got just the kind of skills and experience we're looking for.
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that I would never be able to get over it and that my kids wouldn't have a father. I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. For the longest time, fear held me back from ultimately being who I wanted to. I had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
My opponent is completely disregarding almost half of my arguments which I responded to.
Communities must step up
Laws
and
alone
protest
cannot
against this
stop a
normalizing.
bullet.
Well, I completely disagree.
Point of inquiry, do you guys even realize that the #1 killer of children and teens are gun injuries?
You're probably starting to realize now, this is not a debate.
There is no adult in this earth that wants children to die.
I worry for my kids.
Well, taking a peek outside right now. A wonderful March night, 63 degrees, calm conditions, mostly clear skies this afternoon where I think just about the entire area hit 80. You can see east of Highway 63, maybe not quite there, but you're going to get there tomorrow. And we're going to be looking at 80-degree highs for the next several days, or at least through this upcoming weekend. Take a look off to the west in northeast Oklahoma, 90 in Bartlesville. The winds are still blowing out of the west, and that means that warm air is going to continue to get pumped into our area. So temperatures tomorrow look even warmer than today. And it's really remarkable how far we've come and how quickly we have done that. 28 was the high on Monday. 45 was the high on Tuesday, and there was some snow in the area up near Warsaw. Then yesterday we were up to 71. Okay, that's pretty good for March. And then today 83, our warmest temperature so far in 2026, and it will be even hotter in the days ahead. Mostly clear skies, quiet conditions across the region. We do have a system up here generating some snow that will slide east across the Great Lakes, but the cold shot air with it won't be focused south. It'll slide toward the northeastern U.S., so this is going to be a swing and a miss. And that taste of summer will continue to blow into the Ozarks. Conditions look quiet, too. That's the other thing that's really remarkable. A lot of times this time of the year, if it warms up, you watch for those storms on the back end of it. Well, it looks like with this warm spell, it's going to come and it's going to go quietly. We're not looking at severe weather chances this weekend into early next week. Tomorrow looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. Sunny skies from start to finish, light winds. Temperatures start off in the 50s. We end up in the 80s, mid to upper 80s. You see that? I mean, let that sink in. This is March, and we're talking about highs in the mid to upper 80s. In fact, I went ahead and bumped Harrison's high up to 90. They hit 89 today. And I think that the temperatures look a little warmer on Friday. So that would tie the record high there. Also, I think we'll be setting record highs in West Plains and Vichy. On Saturday and Sunday, it's more of the same. Looks like most of the area will have record heat on Saturday. 89, I think, here in Springfield. That would be our hottest March temperature since 1929. Looks like about 88 for a high on Sunday. So looking at the forecast versus the records, looks like a record high set in Springfield, West Plains, Vichy, and Harrison, and then we do it again on Sunday. Record high tied, I think, in Springfield, record high set in West Plains, Vichy, and Harrison, Arkansas. And that would be 4 straight days where we've hit 80 degrees. Also, remarkable feat during the month of March. Now, on the other side of this front, a little cooler to start off next week. Some clouds maybe on Monday and Tuesday, but with the heat so close to the area, it's going to quickly surge back in as the pattern flattens back out across the middle of the country. So it'll be record heat on repeat. This is March Madness, folks. This will be our longest 80-degree streak since 1910. And we're talking about Springfield, but I think this would probably go for most other areas in the Ozarks. It'll be our warmest March high since 1929. And I think with the likelihood of hitting 80 degrees a couple more times next week, that would be the most 80-degree days in March since 1910. I think we'll end the month with 6 80-degree days, which would be the third most ever recorded in Springfield. Take a look at that 7-day forecast. Hard to believe that that is March. That's more of what you would expect maybe late May going into June, but it's March and it looks pretty quiet too. Looks like the first chance really of some showers impacting the area may hold off until overnight Thursday of next week. Dan?
Coming up in sports, facing the mighty Longhorns.
Yeah, underdogs for sure, but that's the way we like it.
How the Lady Bears plan on upsetting Texas.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire. And how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Life's daily battles are not meant to be fought alone.
We're not powerless, so long as we don't lose sight of what's important.
Don't be afraid to seize that moment to talk to your friends.
Cloud, you okay?
Because checking in on a friend can create a safe space.
The first step on our new journey. You coming?
Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Seize the awkward. It's totally worth it.
Best Reviews is an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations to give reliable recommendations on just about everything.
Call that a plasma sword?
For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
The Ozarksfirst Sports Report is sponsored by Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks.
There's your state champion. The Stratford Indians have captured the Class 4 state title.
The Stratford Indians win their 6th state championship. We'll talk Lady Indians in just a second, but first let's talk Missouri State Lady Bears. Beth Cunningham's crew took care of Stephen F. Austin last night, 85-75. Their reward, a date with top-seeded Texas tomorrow afternoon. In our Bear Nation update, those 85 points were the most scored by the Lady Bears this season. Cayman Beckemeyer led Mo State with 22 points, 13 rebounds. Texas coach Vic Schaefer and some of his players watched that game. The Longhorns will roll into the contest with a 31-3 record, and Texas is perfect 18-0 on the Moody Center court this season. The Lady Bears are ready for the challenge.
Yeah, underdogs for sure, but that's the way we like it. I mean, that's how we were the whole entire tournament, and we were able to set ourselves up for success and kind of just play with a chip on our shoulder. So I know we're excited to do that again.
Already getting a game under our belt in the tournament is like such an awesome opportunity and experience. So just going out there, I mean, doing what we need to do, and we aren't going to prepare any different or play any different. We're just going to play our game and go out and be aggressive, play hard, and have a lot of fun, which is the main thing.
Now to Columbia and the other women's basketball tournament going on today. It's the Girls State Championship this afternoon. Stratford looking for a 6th state title. To do that, they needed to beat Donovan. Elsie Larson suffered a knee injury a few weeks back that ended her season, but today she started and scored the first basket of the game before she was removed to protect that leg. Second quarter, Stratford's Trista Van Horn with this corner three, and it was 28-15 Lady Indians. Van Horn finished with 25. Donovan would make a third quarter run. Tara Davis with this three to make it 50-48 Stratford. But the Indians answer with Kylie Larson's three. Stratford would outscore Donovan 22-7 in the fourth quarter to win the championship, 75-55. Marshfield beat Grandview to take third place in Class 4. Arkansas Razorbacks started their NCAA tournament run this afternoon against Hawaii. John Calipari making his 25th appearance. Arkansas in control the whole way. Springfield's own Trevor Brazil with the one-handed flush. Razorbacks up 52-36. Then Brazil with the block shot. Razorbacks run the floor. Billy Richmond finishes with the dunk. Arkansas by 18. Darius Acuff led Arkansas with 24 points, and the Hogs advanced 97-78. Arkansas gets North Carolina High Point on Saturday. Missouri State baseball Bears will open a weekend Conference USA series with Middle Tennessee tomorrow night at Hammons Field. It'll be the first CUSA series at Hammons and promises to be a great three-game series weather-wise. Bears were enjoying the weather today as they worked out. Missouri State 12-7 overall, 2-1 in conference play. Coach Joey Hawkins says his team is ready for its run through CUSA.
You're always evolving and making adjustments. And I just think we've done a good job of that. I think there's been times where our offense hasn't really gone, but our pitching has picked us up and we played some good defense. And then, our defense and pitching maybe slacked a little bit and our offense stepped up big time. So our mindset this year has just been to try and go 1-0 every day because of how hard that early season schedule was. And I think that really helped us.
That game is at 6:30. The Lady Bears play at 3 on ESPN tomorrow.
All right, we will tune in. And, Jamie, we are looking forward to a nice day and a nice weekend ahead. Get out to be able to enjoy that nice weather.
Yeah, it's kind of pick up the yard after the freeze from early in the week. Get it all cleaned up and looking good again, but some great weather to do it.
Give us a reason to catch up on our chores. We'll see you here tomorrow night. Enjoy your evening. Bye-bye.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know.